It's a must-win matinee today, folks. The boys come rolling off 3 straight wins against what some might call lesser opponents. But today is going to be different. Tampa Bay obviously isn't as good as they once were, but they're still going to be a tough team to beat. The boys better be ready to play a full 60 with no second period lulls like we have become to expect. There is big letdown potential with an East Coast afternoon road game. We know the history of these ones, but we're optimistic today, and that's not what we focus on during pre-gaming. Hello and welcome, everybody, to Oilers Nation presents Pregaming with BORDZY. It's a Saturday. It's earlier. I got good vibes going on. I am live once again from the real Sports Closet studio. Pat, I feel like I haven't done a show here in a week and a half. I've been in my spare room, my old bedroom doing these. So it feels good to be back. I do have a bottle of Crown Royal next to me. I know people are going to be asking that one. But the first comment of the day in the YouTube chat from Jacob GK, McDavid Hattie ? Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good tonight. I've been betting that for a couple games, but just sprinkling responsibly. 19 plus. Blake says, just win, please. Nice and simple with that one, with that take. Beggars can't be choosers. A lot of let's go. Lance Kane is in. Big W incoming. It's going to be a big one today. Is it must win? Is it can't lose? I don't know. I love getting in that debate. You could use either term you want. Let me ask this guy who he had sort of a day off yesterday. He didn't do Oilers Nation every day, but my boy was not avoiding the grind, and he's back to pregame with yours truly. It's Tyler Yaremchuk. Tyler, how are we doing on this fine Saturday afternoon?
I am ready for some 2:00 hockey. I know some people complain about it, but for me, I always like on the Saturdays when the Oilers are either 8:00 or they're really, really early, or they're early like this. I don't like when they're like the 5:00 on Saturdays, but it's great. 2:00, sit, watch the Oilers, have a couple of brewskis, pregame with us, rolls right into that big 5:00 slate into the NHL, and then boom, you're off and running with your night. I love this 2:00 start.
I like day games, because I do Oilers Nation After Dark, so that means I get to go out and have fun. Greta, shameless plug, Greta. But I don't know, it's always nice, like especially, I don't know, let's say you go out on a Friday night, Ty, you're a little banged up the next day, maybe you want to DoorDash some Wendy's, you get your stuff going, you throw on a day game, hockey during the day. It's also fun to nap too sometimes. The game gets out of hand, like a little Jack Michaels to serenade me. But I sang the song last time we did this, so I'm going to do it again. Tyler, it's Saturday, Saturday matinee. I get the juices flowing for these day games. I didn't go out last night, so I got a good night's sleep. I'm well rested and full of energy. So it's a 4 p.m. local start in Tampa today. Tyler, we know Oiler fans' skepticism when it comes to these matinee afternoon games. Our history isn't great, or at least my memories aren't great. I'll say that. So sell me on all the reasons why the Edmonton Oilers are going to win this game today, Tyler.
Well, actually, Pat, let's flash up that board you got ready to go there, because I think if you looked at this, you'd be like, oh, man, the Oilers could be in a little bit of trouble here, right? Like 5-9-1, going up against a team with a better record. Tampa Bay has scored more. They've kept pucks out of their net at a better clip. Their power play is better. Their penalty kill is better. And it's like, okay, they're also the Tampa Bay Lightning. But then if you dig a little bit deeper into this thing, they've only won 7 of their 17 games so far this season. Like, you look at this record, you go, oh, they're above 500, but they're not really above 500. Again, just 7 wins in 17 games. And I know the Oilers obviously only have 5 wins in 15 games, but as of late, the Oilers, as we all know, have been turning it around, and the Bolts have been struggling. They're coming off a win against the Chicago Blackhawks, but before that, BORDZY, they were on a 3-game run where they were outscored 11-1 at 5-on-5. They got caved for 3 consecutive games. I think that Vasilevsky injury and running with just Johansson and Tompkins is really starting to catch up to them. And quite frankly, they just look a step behind whoever they go up against. So although on the surface, this looks like a tough game, it's actually probably the softest matchup of the road trip.
Yeah, they don't get me wrong. The Tampa Bay Lightning are still the Tampa Bay Lightning. They still have an absolutely loaded roster. They don't seem to scare me as much as they used to. Maybe that's Vasilevsky. Maybe that's Steven Stamkos. He's old as balls now, it seems like. He's only got 5 goals on the year. But I don't know. It could be classic Oilers talking ourselves into this, and then we see what happens. It's going to be a big one. It's it sets the tone. That's kind of where I'm at for this road trip. So I'm very excited to see what version of the Oilers we're going to get tonight. And it's a version, Tyler, that we believe is going to be featuring Connor Brown tonight as we expect him to make his return. One he probably was looking forward to because he's due a big chunk of change if his skate hit the ice tonight. I believe it's 3.225 mil. I'm sure he's had this one circled ever since, hoping he's going to come back. Tyler, there was lots of takes about Connor Brown to start the season. I don't know if that was necessarily against Connor Brown, whether we needed a scapegoat, someone to put it on. I'll admit he wasn't playing great. He's coming off a torn ACL. You got to give a guy time. I thought the more we played along, he was getting better, moving his feet more in better areas. And then he gets hurt. So what do you expect to see from Connor Brown this evening? He's back.
Yeah, so Tony Brar is saying he's expected to draw in. I think a handful of other Edmonton beat reporters have said he's in tonight. So that is the expectation here for Connor Brown. I mean, when he's been on the ice this year, the offensive production hasn't been there. He has not been on the ice for a 5-on-5 goal scored yet for the Oilers. But good things have been happening. With Brown on the ice, the Oilers are controlling 64% of the shot attempts. They're outshooting the opposition 52-32. And he started slow, but we saw him in the preseason, man. He has it in him to be effective. And I think as the year kind of went on through game 6, 7, 8, 9, we started to see him pick up his feet a little bit, start to go to the front of the net a little bit more. I remember against Dallas, man, he had a look in front that I just can't believe didn't go in, where he did the little hesitation, then pulled it back to his forehand. I should say the other way, pulled it back to his forehand, just couldn't finish it off. So I don't know. I think this is still going to be a quality player for the Oilers this year. The injury came at a bit of a bad time because he was just starting to heat up. But the people totally writing off Connor Brown after his first 9 games back from a major injury, I just think it's a little foolish to be doing that right now.
Get out of here if you're trying to shit on Connor Brown for the start to the season. Got to give him time. And you said, dude, the preseason, I watched him. I forget what, I think it was maybe when we played Calgary preseason game, but he had 2 goals, I think it was. And he was just simple movements like playing with Connor. He just found open space in the slot, opens up, bang, bang, boom. Puck's going to be there, back of the net. So I'm very excited to see how that goes again. But yesterday, Tyler, you were not there for Oilers Nation Every Day with Liam Horrobin. I pulled out the old logo again, so we had his name on the screen. But we did a nice little bro down with Bag Milk. We brought it back. We're actually going to be playing his intro video again every time because I forgot it existed, so I re-brought it in. But it was nice to just talk oil and kind of shoot the shit with Bag Milk with good vibes. It wasn't very negative. It was just, we were just broing out, having a good time. Not much stress right now as the boys been playing better. Tyler, is your mood like that as well? Are you feeling more positive about this team? Like yesterday, there wasn't much negativity in the show.
Well, like I think back to even Woody's last game against Seattle. Like you're going into that hockey game on the edge of your seat being like, oh my God, I have no confidence in the team. And if they don't win, like every loss just felt like such a major, major blow to their playoff chances. And then they beat Seattle and you're like, okay, good win. Maybe you thought they saved Woody's job. Not the case. They come out the next night, new coach era. You're excited to see how they look. Boom, they win against Seattle. You're like, okay, things are starting to roll. Big comeback victory. So I think it's very easy right now to sit and be like, oh, I actually feel like relatively confident in the Oilers' chances tonight. And for the first time since early in the season, I'm actually excited to watch an Oilers game because I'm like, oh, they have it in them to play good and win. But also, as we saw in Seattle, like not every mistake's going to end up in the back of their net right now. They don't need to play a perfect hockey game to win. There's a little bit of wiggle room. You feel like if they go out and make a mistake or give up the first goal like they did against the Islanders, that they actually have it in them to fight back. It's a good feeling.
I have belief back. I have hope. Maybe not back because hope never dies. But after that last game, I said it just felt, those are the Oilers I know and love. You're down in the third period. You're never out of it. Bing, bang, boom. You're back in it. And it happens. You just got to believe. Shout out Connor Halley. He's in the chat right now. He says, BORDZY and Yaremchuk previewing a game at 1 o'clock. You can't beat it. That's right, baby. We'll be here. We'll be here all season long. It's a big day. It's a big weekend in the NHL, really. We've got games in Stockholm, Sweden. How did the Ottawa-Minnesota game finish? I saw it was an overtime, and then I was prepping way too much. Dedicated to the grind.
Yeah, well, in important for Oilers fans. I see that Philly and Vegas are tied up in the third period, so that's could be an interesting result there. But Ottawa finished off Mini 2-1 in a shootout, so that's a team the Oilers could move into a tie with now with a victory today.
Yep, and yesterday we saw the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Red Wings. Once again, hockey at 12. Just sweet, dude. Sign me up. I mean, we work jobs that we're able to watch these games during the day, so take that for what you may. But I loved it. Didn't really like seeing the Leafs win, but hey, we'll take what we can get. Lots of games in Stockholm. I was going to ask you this. I'm sure you know, but maybe the fans didn't. Did you know that the Stockholm Arena is called the Avicii Arena?
Yeah, awesome. I saw Frank tagging it in a bunch of Instagram photos, and I was like, is it because of it? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. From my Googling research, it is named after him. I want to ask this in the chat, so let me know. Levels is the greatest song of all time in general out of anything ever. I will stand on that hill until I die. Let me know if you're a Levels kind of guy. That song gets me pumped up. If only we could get like a different non-copyright version. That'd be my theme song for this show. But yeah, moving along. This one, we're not going to talk about too much, but we have to address it. Milan Lucic, I think everybody saw the news. Looked like he was arrested for domestic violence. Indefinite leave from the team. Once again, we're not going to speculate. We're not going to dig too deep in this. Sucks to see. I love Luch. It's a tough go. I don't know what really happened in it, but I will say I do like how the Boston Bruins have handled it. They've kind of just hands off. He's taking a leave. They're not really getting very involved. They're just going to let the legal process play out. Tyler, sucks to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Obviously, what I found interesting was Brad Marchand's comment about it in the locker room today, and he didn't come out and give like a generic "I'm not going to touch it, let things play out" or whatever. He goes, "The biggest thing for us is that we care a lot about their family. We're a family in here. We're all very, very close. We're concerned and upset for them and what they're going through." So he kind of talked a little bit more about being concerned for Luch's family, which I found to be a little interesting. I wonder if this isn't maybe. I mean, he's a $1 million player. This was going to be the last year of his career. I wonder if maybe the Bruins just go, and especially knowing the culture in that room, they might just be like, not worth it. You're done.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, when you're on the back half of your career like that, you're sometimes a detriment to the team and you're doing stuff like that. Once again, we don't know, just speculating, but I'd be, if I was an executive, I'd be pulling the trigger or pulling the chute on that one and getting out of that. But we'll leave that for the legal process to kind of determine. But it's Saturday afternoon. Tyler, that means we have Saturday night off. It means I have Saturday night off because you don't, because you're going to be at the Claire Drake Arena, right?
Yeah, but if you're in Edmonton, you could make tonight a hockey doubleheader. You could sit at home, watch the Oilers game, have a couple of brewskis, Uber down to Claire Drake Arena and watch some Golden Bears versus Regina Cougars hockey.
So that means, if you don't know, normally the Golden Bears are gonna. That's a good matchup with the Golden Bears. We'll leave it at that right there. I don't want to talk myself into a corner and ruin your night for you. My apologies. But I think you're gonna be calling the game alone too. So hey, CanadaWest.tv. You want to hear that beautiful voice for 60 straight minutes? Hey, sign me up. I actually still have a free account from all the time I spent there. But that's enough talk about that. Let's get into this matchup with the Sherwood Ford Giants storyline. For me, this is a tone setter. This is a tone setter for this entire Eastern Road swing. But a good performance today could put the rest of the league on notice that, yes, the Edmonton Oilers might be back. We've got Tampa Bay today, Florida on Monday, Carolina Wednesday, Washington on Friday. That's a pretty big gauntlet to go through in less than a week, all on the road. You got to factor in travel, so that won't be easy. Tyler, you said before you'd be happy going 2-2. I saw a lot of that shared sentiment on Reddit today. Part of me still says that that's loser talk, but I understand it's tough. It's never been good for us. But I'm done with loser talk on this show. We've been talking about it. So that's what I'm kind of shooting for. I would like to see 3 wins on the roadie, maybe an OT loss, maybe 2 1-1, that extra points. I'll take the loser points. The Tampa Bay Lightning are up in the standings because they've got loser points. I think this team is fully capable. It's no time to talk. It's time to act. I know the boys do not need to hear that. Tyler, what is your Sherwood Ford Giant storyline this evening?
Yeah, I think it is just starting off on the right foot and getting 2 points on this road trip. Like you talk about how 2-2 is a little bit of loser talk, and 3-1 should be the goal for this team. even though it's tough matchups all the way through this road trip, at some point this year, the Oilers got to prove that they can consistently beat good teams, right? Like, are you a Stanley Cup contender or are you not? And I know right now with their record, people will laugh at that and be like, no, they're obviously not a Stanley Cup contender. But still, the point I'm making here, if you can go out and get a win today against Tampa, who again is struggling, if you don't let them into this game, if you suck the life out of them early, then all of a sudden, yeah, you can sit and look at next week and go, okay, a handful of tough matchups, but damn it, we're a good team. We've won 4 in a row. Let's go 2-3, right? Like, winning today is just such a tone setter for the rest of the road trip. So for me, it's just going to be getting off to a good start early in this game and starting this road trip off on the right foot.
Yeah, I hope they're not still asleep. What's 4 p.m. local time? So do you get an
They
afternoon
flew out a
nap?
couple days ago.
If you're doing a 4 o'clock game, do you take an afternoon nap? I wonder what the scheduling is for that. I feel like, yeah, that'd be tough. I just want to keep sleeping. But okay, let's get into the Oilers lineup. And the lineup report is presented by the one, the only, the Giant, Sherwood Ford, the Giant Dealer Raiders 2023 Dealer of the Year and 23's Consumer Satisfaction Award winner. They've got it all, used, new, whatever you want, mobile service bay. They're the best. Sherwood Ford, the Giant. We saw the showroom the other day from Oilersnation Every Day. The Sun producing that one. I laugh because I do it from home. That whole show, Liam's face was just blasted by the sun, and it was really only right there on Liam's face. So that was pretty good. Wear some sunglasses if you want to go test drive some vehicles at Sherwood Ford, the Giant. But okay, Pat, pull it up for me. The Oilers lineup tonight. You see it on the top right there. Number 28 should be expected to be back in the lineup. It's Connor Brown with Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Second line of Evander Kane, Leon Draisaitl, and Zach Hyman. You're not messing with that one. I'm not touching that one. That's a line that's your second line. That is a Stanley Cup contending second line. Followed by in the bottom 6, Warren Fogle, Ryan McLeod, and yes, he's still there, Derek Ryan. Then another guy who's still there, still doesn't have a jersey number on this thing, Adam Ernie with James Hamblin and Sam Gagner. Sam Gagner, you had a good run on the first line. I think everybody and their dog knew that was just a placeholder, and he'd be back in the bottom 6, where I think that's where Sam belongs. He's an effort guy. Him and James Hamblin, that's an effort combo right there. The D pairings stay the same. Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse with Mr. Step Up in the Rush, Cody Ceci. Is this a new guy we've been seeing the last 2 games? Then it's Brett Kulak with Vincent Desharnais. Every time we do this lineup report, Tyler, I type in the Oilers record. And all I've been doing lately is adding to the win column. It keeps growing, so I really like that. The big news today, it's Connor Brown. He's reunited with the squad who gave him a juicy, incentive-laden contract there with games played. He's reunited on a line with his former junior teammates, and I believe he's reunited with the Knob once again. Tyler, I don't know. It seems like a cool storyline, a good fairy tale. They're back together, the 3 of them. Connor Brown off injury. Hat trick watch tonight? First question. No, I'm just kidding. But what can we expect from Connor Brown? I feel like this is as good of a position that he could have been hoped to be placed in coming back off injury. And he's getting $3 million today. So there's that too.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued to see how this fit is here. I'm hoping he's moving okay, because if he's moving okay, then he'll be able to get to the right spots, and Connor McDavid will hopefully be able to start finding him. Am I looking for 2 goals in this first game back? No, would be great, but let's maybe just start with 1. If he's moving well, if he's going to the right spots, then tonight's a success in my eyes. So that's kind of all I'm looking for with Connor Brown. I do think, though, I don't know if this is the best way to construct the Oilers' top 6, if I'm being totally honest. I think you need to move someone off that second line and put them up on the first line, because that second line, they like to score. They don't like to play defense. That trio has spent 23 minutes together at 5-on-5 this season. They have been outshot 22-11 in the process. And here's where I'll go with this. If you swap just Evander Kane off, Draisaitl and Hyman, when they've been together without Evander Kane on the ice, they're out shooting the other team 48-32. So I think maybe you need to take a peek at swapping maybe Evander Kane and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think that's probably the way to do it. Just because, again, the upside, if Hyman, Kane, and Draisaitl are on, sure, great. but they've only scored 1 goal together at 5-on-5 in those 23 minutes. They're getting absolutely caved in the shot department. And Connor McDavid and Evander Kane are breaking even in the shot department. They're controlling nearly 58% of the shot attempts when they're on the ice together. I think the right play is to swap Kane and Nuge, or potentially you want to flip someone over to their off wing and swap like Kane and Brown or something like that. But Kane and Nuge is the easier swap. That's what I would do, just because I don't think you can trust that second line all that much right now.
Let me know, our armchair GMs at home, if you agree with that take. When you first started there, I wasn't, but no, that does make sense. They are a defensive liability. I just see them, those 91, 29, and 18. Those are 3 big bodies, and I love them in the offensive end. But no, you are right. You do have to play both sides of the ice, contrary to popular belief sometimes.
And
that is a fact.
Just another thing to add on to that quickly. Like, I'm looking at the numbers again. McDavid and Nuge together, they're decent at 5-on-5. Draisaitl and Nuge together have been really good at 5-on-5 in terms of controlling the pace. So again, just another reason here. I think if you were to go with like a Hyman, Draisaitl, Nuge line as your second line, that's a trio. They've outshot the opposition 12-7. They've scored 2 goals in 17 minutes together at 5-on-5. I think that's the way to go. And then go Brown, Kane, McDavid, give Connor a couple of shooters on his wing. That's how I would go. But I mean, I also, it's not broken. So, I mean, Coach Knobloch doesn't see a reason to try fix it, I guess, which makes sense.
Yep, exactly. We'll see how Connor Brown does on this line. Maybe, I don't know, we can believe in that second line. I just look at it and it just gives me like Rye, Dry, and Kai flashbacks. That second line, just rolling them out there, maybe point per game kind of guys. But no, I'm getting ahead of myself. But Connor Brown on the top line, that means 89. You see him all the way down there on the 4th line. I'm sorry, Sam. Cover your ears. I've been waiting for this. I've been wanting this to happen for several games now. I like Sam Gagner. He's an effort guy. He was a liability on that line. He's just not fast enough. He's playing with guys more like his style. Him and James Hamblin, I said, that's a duo of effort and tenacity and making right plays. Sam Gagner back down on the 4th line. Breakdown of that, Tyler. It's expected. We knew it was going to happen. We didn't think he was going to be on the first line all season.
I would swap him and Derek Ryan, though, just because you're not going to use that 4th line a lot anyways. And if I'm going to have someone playing with Ryan McLeod and Warren Fogle who doesn't move all that well, I would like it to be someone with a bit more offensive IQ than Derek Ryan. And Sam Gagner is just a better skilled Derek Ryan in a few ways, right? Like, doesn't move that well, but goes to the right spots. But Gagner's got better hands. So I think I would swap 89 and 10 as well. I know I'm getting a little nitpicky here on a lineup that's really won 3 games in a row and has been looking pretty decent, but that's just another change I would make. I would roll with a pretty firm top 9 and then use that bottom or that 4th line sparingly at this point. I also think it's interesting to note that Raph Lavoie comes out of the lineup. I think that's, again, what's the upside with Adam Ernie? I don't see it. Like, if he gets a scoring chance, he's not scoring it. So at least with Lavoie, if he's going to get a scoring chance, or if you're running Lavoie, Hamblin, Gagner, then like I'm in on that trio. All of a sudden I go, okay, yeah, maybe they can score a little bit and you have a bit more of a balanced lineup. But Ernie's just such a black hole for me right now that I look at this and go, I don't know what that 4th line is going to accomplish. They're not going to be very good defensively. They're not going to be great in the offensive zone because Gagner can't do it all himself. There's not huge help on the special teams per se. Like, I don't know. I just think Lavoie presents so much more upside, and having him sit in the press box is kind of dumb.
Tyler, you took the words right out of my mouth. The next thing I was going to bring up, I see no Raph Lavoie there. I still see Adam Ernie. Never thought I'd want my own players to get suspended, but no, I kind of wish he did get suspended for that greasy elbow. I want Raph Lavoie in there. I want Raph Lavoie on Derek Ryan's spot over there. That's what I want to see. I do not understand the Adam Ernie thing. I was an Adam Ernie defender to start the season. Felt like Liam was always kind of laying into our guy there. But now that I've seen enough of Adam Ernie to know that it isn't anything. There's not really anything there. Raph Lavoie is a goal scorer. We can see it. And he's a young guy you want to bring along slowly, playing with a guy like Fogle and McLeod. I feel like that makes obvious sense to me. Maybe I'm taking crazy pills. But yeah, so we'll wait to see what the lineup is, but it's expected that Raph Lavoie is going to be out. Damn it, Ernie! Why didn't you elbow him harder? And you could have been out of the game. I said Hamblin
wasn't suspended.
Yeah, no. Hey, but he got fined, what, $2,000? I feel like it wasn't even a big chunk of change either. I was very surprised. Moving more down the lineup, though, D pairings, they stayed the same. The one I want to kind of focus on, it's Cody Ceci. Now, I thought he had arguably his best game of the season last game. He led the team in minutes in, I believe, game number 1 with the knob. So let me ask, I don't know. I was a guy to start the season. I was hard on Cody Ceci. I was very upset with him, his lead in his boots, his pinches, his inability to clear the front of the net. I don't know if it's just a couple game stretch here, but he's looked way better. Maybe that's the Paul Coffey effect. Maybe that's the knob. Who knows? But is this a version of Cody Ceci I can begin to expect to see, Mr. Yaremchuk?
I don't know. Listen, I think he's gone through stretches like this as an Oiler before. Like that first season with the team was awesome. I'm not really going to say Paul Coffey whispered something into his ear and all of a sudden he's playing better hockey. I mean, the results with him on the ice last game against Seattle weren't great. Granted, he stayed out of trouble for the most part. Yeah. I mean, if he can go out there and tread water and just him and Darnell Nurse can stay out of making big mistakes and stay out of bad pinches and giving up odd man rushes, then they'll be fine. But am I sitting here going, the Oilers are set now on the blue line because Cody Ceci's had 2 good games? No.
Yeah, no, not at all. Also, Gavin just walked in the studio. Hi, Gavin. Hi. He'll be with us for Oilersnation After Dark, which I believe my buddy Tyler is going to be hanging with me too. But continuing down the lineup, Evan Bouchard, we got to talk about him every game. We got to single him out every time. The most polarizing player, maybe besides Evander Kane in fan bases. Let me just ask, is Evan Bouchard, is he going to make me happy or is he going to make me sad tonight? Or both? I never really know what I'm going to get with that guy. What's the Forrest Gump line? Evan Bouchard is like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, and you never know shift by shift what you're going to get with Bouchard, but I stand by, and I was having this debate the other day, like, oh, Bouchard or Ceci, who would you rather have? And I'm like, listen, they both make a lot of dumb mistakes, but at least Evan Bouchard is going to go out on the other end and pop home 3 assists in a game and help you win it in OT like you did against Seattle. So there's upside with Bouchard. There's a clear-cut positive to his game, and it's that he moves the puck up the ice very, very well. Cody Ceci has brain farts in his own end. Cody Ceci also doesn't move the puck all that well, and I know he had the breakaway the other day, but he doesn't skate all that well. So I see way more upside with a guy like Bouchard, obviously. And what I wanted to do, although I kind of hate these, they always make me cringe because they're just setups, but I'm going to set it up anyways.
Set me up.
I'm going to read you 2 stat lines, Aaron. Player A has 15 points on the year, 8 even strength points, averages 22 minutes a night, and is -3. Okay. 15 points, 8 of them at even strength, 22 minutes a night, -3. Player B this season has 10 points, 5 even strength points, averages 23, 28, and is a -12 on the year. Do you want to guess who A is and who B is?
Pat?
I'm scared.
I don't want to sound stupid. Are they Oilers?
No, one's an Oiler, one's a Lightning.
Okay, I'm going to say the second one is Sergachev.
It is. Mikhail Sergachev. Like, again, everyone loves to throw out the, oh my God, yeah, all Bouchard does is put up points. He's -1,000,000, blah, blah, blah. Mikhail Sergachev is -12 this year. The only player, if you were to look at the top 10 scorers on the Tampa Bay Lightning, the only player who isn't a minus this season is Victor Hedman, and he's an even 0. Like, if things break well tonight for the Oilers, there's a chance you sit at the end of the night with Evan Bouchard having a better plus-minus than Victor Hedman. And you can't even do the, oh, well, Bouchard just gets to play with McDavid, blah, 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 blah. Victor Hedman plays with a ton of talent. Mikhail Sergachev plays with a ton of talent. So all the people who want to sit there and be like, all Evan Bouchard does is turn over the puck, he sucks, blah, 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 puts up more points than almost any other D-man in the NHL, is doing a decent chunk of it at even strength, and there are plenty of defensemen around the league who go through bad month stretches, bad 2-week stretches where they turn over a lot of pucks. I think a big part of it was every mistake Bouchard made early in the year was ending up in the back of his net, and now the fan base is hyper fixated on Evan Bouchard and every mistake. Like, was that one he made against Seattle terrible? Yeah. Does the look on his face often make his mistakes look even worse than they are sometimes? Yeah, I can understand why people do that, but I just think you need to cut him a little bit of slack. He is elite at his strengths. Are his downsides pretty big too? Yeah, like his flaws are big, but still, you want a guy with that kind of upside in your lineup. And again, if you want to just sit there and throw it plus minus and throw out bad turnovers, go watch some shifts of Mikhail Sergachev this year, because I'm sure a lot of Oilers fans would sit there and in a heartbeat be like, I make that trade. And I mean, honestly, I probably would too. But again, every defenseman goes through stretches where they make a lot of dumb mistakes.
Tyler, I love that game. Do that way more often. I feel way better about that. Also got it right. So that feels good for me right there. But no, you're right. Like, Evan Bouchard, we kept using the term live by the sword, die by the sword on the last After Dark, because that's what it is with Evan Bouchard. He gets out-muscled by Tyler Yamamoto. It's in the back of the net. Then he goes down the ice. You see him make that move, deliver a dead-on puck to Evander Kane's stick. It's what you get. And people who want to, he plays with McDavid. Hey, good players play with other good players. Call him a power play merchant all you want. If it was so easy, everybody else would do it and get tickets like that. It's clear. I know that's obvious, but sometimes I feel like I have to say that. Evan Bouchard is just fine, but you gotta know what he is. That's just what you're gonna get. Ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. He's meant to be an Oiler, that's for sure.
Yeah, and listen, the power play point you made is really good as well. You can sit there and look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Nikita Kucherov has 11 power play points already this year. I'm not sitting here today going into this game being like, Lightning aren't a threat. All they do is score on the power play. I'm sitting here going, the Oilers better stay out of the damn box and not play into Tampa Bay's strength, which is roasting teams on the power play. Like I said, they just went through a 3-game span where they were getting outscored 11-1, or they got outscored 11-1 at 5-on-5. Like, stay out of the box tonight. That's a huge key to victory.
Tyler, last time I checked, power play goals do count the exact same as everything else. So I don't care what fans have to say about that, but we'll move along with that. From one polarizing D-man to the next, this is my last Oilers thing. I wanted to really ask the chat this, because maybe I'm off. Darnell Nurse, to me, is everything as advertised. Sure, complain about the cap hit, whatever you want. We're past that. We're done with that. Whatever. We know what it is. I'm so done with the hate. I think he's been our best defenseman this season. I want to know if I'm off with that. So in the chat, let me know if you think where Darnell has been. I think he's been great this year. Sure, is he not a 9.25 guy? But Tyler, I feel like I've noticed much less Darnell hate this season in the chat. Way less than last season, because that was pretty much all every After Dark was. Oh, Pat, I love you. Thank you for doing that. He threw it in there. Are you happy with Nurse this year? Yes or no? Tyler, let me kick it off with you. Are you? Because I am so happy with the way he's been playing.
Yeah, I think he's been really solid. And part of the reason you're maybe seeing less Darnell Nurse hate is because now everyone's shifted their focus to Bouchard, right? The people who love to just take the low-hanging criticisms are just turning it on to Evan Bouchard instead. But I think Nurse has been really, really solid this year. Again, at times he's covering for a partner who isn't all that reliable. He still faces a lot of very, very difficult matchups for this team. Plays a ton of minutes, plays in all scenarios. Like, again, if you can't appreciate what Darnell Nurse is bringing to the table, I mean, come on, what are we doing here? The day I will stand and agree with the Darnell Nurse hate is the day the Oilers can just go out and get a better defenseman than him, because I'm not sure how easy it is to do that. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's very difficult to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath with that. I get into arguments with people all the time. They go, well, you could get 2 defensemen at 4.5. I go, name 2 defensemen that a team is going to make that trade. Get out of fantasy, join reality, okay? Because that's where I live.
But also, like, go look at the defensemen in the league that make $4.5 million. Like, they're not that good, man. Like, again, I will take Darnell Nurse, who should he be making 7 or 6.5? Yeah, probably. But guess what? You had to keep him locked up. They bridged him twice. Previous regimes bridged him once, and then I guess Holland bridged him the other time. But like, if you go look at the defenseman whose cap hits are $5.5 million, you're going down into like 66 to 75 in the league. And if you look at guys who signed those tickets as UFAs as well, I mean, okay, Ryan Graves, Chris Tanev is a good D-man. Like, I got time for a guy like Chris Tanev, but I mean, Jamie Alexiak out in Seattle, he's a guy who doesn't skate that well. Ben Sherrod, I'm pretty sure, is getting healthy scratched in Detroit right now. He's making more than $4.5 million a year. John Klingberg's making 4.1. That's a contract that Brad Treliving probably wishes he didn't go out and sign. Like, if you're looking for a perfect defenseman making 4.5, like you said, I think you're probably looking in fantasy land.
Yep, I agree. People in the chat, I think they agree with me about Darnell Nurse. It's 89% right now. The whopping victory. Yes, We're happy with him. I see Raiden said Tyler is more of a realist than Bordsy.
I think that's a Flames fan in the chat.
Oh, get him out. Get him out.
Gone.
Lance Kane says, I like Bordsy's optimism. I'm a positive guy. That's what I am. Like, it's too easy to get negative, and I don't really want to do that. Wow, we spent a lot of time in the Oilers here. I guess one last thing. Oilers power play. It's cooking. It's getting back there. It's been a conversation we had lately as well, Tyler, about would you switch it up with the Nuge for Kane swap? It was brought up to us that it isn't as simple as that because Nuge is a passer and a shooter in that whatever bumper spot he's in or whatever you want to call that. Kane is not much of a passer. I don't really want to switch it up. Sure, it hasn't been as great as last year. It's still humming. It's still going at an unreal rate. I want to keep the power play together. What's your take?
Yeah, like I'm fine with it. I think my point was kind of more just I think you could switch off it a little bit quicker. Like power play 1 hasn't been unreal this year. Power play 2 has actually been putting up some decent results compared to like last season and what was happening. So they kind of have been switching off a little bit faster. So that's all good. I don't think it's like a big need or anything like that, but I also wouldn't mind seeing them ride a little bit more of the hot hand. Like, is Evander Kane not a great passer? No, he's not. But you could put McDavid over in that Nugent Hopkins spot. That maybe opens up Draisaitl a little bit more on the far side. Like, if you had both Kane and Draisaitl buzzing around on the far side of the ice, maybe that opens up Draisaitl in his office a little bit more. Maybe you don't have to rely on Evan Bouchard's shot as much as you have. I just think there's different ways to go about it. Do I think they need to make a change right now? No, because they're still like a top 10 power play in the league. It's fine as a whole, but I'm just trying to think of ways for the Oilers to get back to that elite level and maybe running with a red hot Evander Kane up there and giving him a little bit more power play one time. Maybe even just swap him out for Hyman every second power play. Like maybe that's something that can spark him a bit.
Yeah, sometimes I do forget that you can just change it up for one shift maybe and just see what happens. But Evander Kane, pretty damn good this season. He's a goal scorer. That's what he does. The Oilers power play is currently humming at 25%. Good enough for 8th in the league. It's crazy to me. The Lightning are rocking a 30% power play. So that's 5 percentage points better, and they're only 5th. So that's quite the gap right there. But okay, that's enough for the Edmonton Oilers because I see it has been confirmed, at least the Edmonton Oilers starting goaltender. So let's get into the goaltenders matchup, and it is brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. They used to be known as Free Spirit Marine and Power Sport since 1985. They know boats. They know the outdoors. They're teaming up with the good people at Sherwood Ford to relocate to Sherwood Park. You know I love that. You know I love that. I'm a park boy. Brand new state-of-the-art facility in the heart of the park next to Millennium Place. Ty, you got to look at it the other day. It looks dope. It looks like something out of Star Wars that like Darth Vader would be building because it looks badass. Let me tell you that. They'll be selling fishing boats, pontoon boats, ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, whatever you want. They're going to have it opening February 2024. Okay, Pat, we've got a starting goaltenders matchup here for us. So we have just gotten confirmation. It is going to be Stuart Skinner. I still don't see anything yet on Tampa Bay goaltender.
I think it just got confirmed a couple minutes ago. Jonas Johansson.
Tyler, any?
Yeah, Pat's right.
Okay, rock and roll. Sorry, Matt Tompkins. Damn it, I really would have liked to see that. That would have made, if, let's say, it didn't go the way we wanted, that would have made that pill a lot easier to swallow. But you see it on your screen there, the numbers. Stuart Skinner, 4-5-1 with a 283, 9.09. That can't be accurate, can that?
That's his recent stretch here. That's how good he's been over the last couple of games, I think.
Yeah, that's the last time he's been.
The last 3.
Over the last 3. All good. We know Oilers goaltenders. Their save percentages don't get above 8. But Johansson there, he's 6-4-4, 336, 895. But he's got 2 shutouts on the year.
Yeah.
So he's been able to string it together. We talked about the Lightning, hot start, kind of slowed down a little. I picked up Jonas Johansson in fantasy. He was like 4th ranked. And he's just plummeting down the rankings right now. But I am playing Tyler this week. He forgot to start his Vancouver Canucks players. So I'm feeling good, baby. But Stuart Skinner, he's been great as of late, Ty. 3 straight wins. Save percentages all above 9. You know, I like that. Can only keep a good guy down so long. Is this the Stuart Skinner we can expect to see? I think he's just getting the net. Is it comfortability that he knows he's going to be playing every game? This is the Stu I know and love.
Yeah, I mean, Stuart Skinner's been awesome over this last little stretch here. He was their best player, I thought, against Seattle up until the last 8 minutes when Evander Kane popped off. He made some big saves against the New York Islanders once they took the 3-1 lead in that hockey game. He's been really, really good. And on the other side, the Oilers get to go up against a goalie who has not been good this year. You mentioned the 2 shutouts. Okay, so those are 2 of his 14 appearances, Aaron. He has one other game where he allowed 2 goals. It was last night or last game for Tampa against Chicago. He only faced 14 shots in that game. In all of the other 11 games, he's allowed at least 3 goals. In 8 of those 11, he's allowed 4 or more. Over the last recent stretch here, again, 2 goals against Chicago, but only on 14 shots. It was then 4 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals, 4 goals. He's basically been an 800 or 828 to 875 goalie in each of his last 7-8 starts here. So the Oilers have the better goalie in this matchup. It's just going to be a matter of limiting the high danger looks. Edmonton gives up more high danger goals against than any other team in the NHL. Limit those high danger looks, maybe get bailed out by Stu a couple of times, and then make sure you're just pouring it on Johansson at the other end.
He's human. You heard it here first. Campbell for Jonas Johansson. Let's do the old swapsies. Let's see if we can get there. But yeah, for me, for Johansson, he's not a proven goaltender. We can see this is what he's like as being the guy. It's tough to play game after game and getting lit up like that. I want to get the front of the net, get in there, make it known, plant your ass there, make it uncomfortable. Maybe give him a couple stick whacks. I want to get in his head because he's not Vasilevsky. He's not even close. So I want to really take advantage of that. Would I have liked to see Matt Tompkins? Of course. Tyler, I tried to get him. I was texting him to his buddies and whatnot, but he has to go through the PR team, of course. I think even he was a little surprised that he has to do that. Maybe, but he was on Jason Gregor the other day. So I really like seeing that. What a great story, though, for him. Guy battled hard for years, goes overseas. He said the fact that he went overseas, he was just playing consistently, and that's how he got better. Crazy. You play games, you hone your craft a little bit. Good for him. He's been on Team Canada. I'm a big fan of the guy. And let me tell you, he is just a very genuinely nice guy. There's no fakeness with Matt Tompkins. Sherwood Park boy doing us proud. Him and Shuba Hubbard putting us on the map out here, okay? But Ty, goaltender matchup, anything else that stands out to you? I want to move along.
Someone was saying, did someone say in the chat that shots against aren't an important goalie stat? I mean, sure, there's other levels to that, but like, again, you can look at Jonas Johansson and be like, he only gave up 2 goals against the Hawks. The fact he only faced 14 shots probably tells you a little bit about how that hockey game was going. So I don't know if it's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, you can always cherry pick your stats. Always at Simpsons line. Statistics can prove anything, Tyler. 60% of all people know that. Boom, flip it on that right there. But I don't know. You can cherry pick whatever you want. Let's move along to the Tampa Bay Lightning's lineup. This is presented by Greta. It's Saturday. It's early. I still have not used my crew card yet, Tyler. So tonight might be the night, especially. We'll be drinking in victory, soaking in victory. Get that done. Everybody go down to Greta. All kinds of great deals, drinks, some of the best food ever. Did you see Pinder had to eat the chicken nugget challenge thing, Tyler? That was like hard to watch.
I know. He like almost threw up on the stream. I don't know how many nuggets how many did he put back?
I think it was like 40 something. Let me know in the chat. But their nugs are like, they're a good size nug at Greta.
Yeah, that was not
good size nug. Whoops. Okay, let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pat, pull it up for me. That top line, man, that top line is loaded. Brandon Hagel with Braden Point, also on my fantasy team. Screw you, Tyler. And Nikita Kucherov. Those are 3 studs right there. Then you go down the line. Steven Stamkos. He's older. He's wiser. He's still a good hockey player with Nick Paul and Alex Barboulette. I think that's how I say that. Third line, Tanner Jeannot. Man, I am such a Tanner Jeannot guy. Like, I wanted him so bad on the Oilers last year, Tyler. We talked about it a very fair amount. He's just an animal out there. Centering that line is Michael Eyssimont and Tyler Mott. Then it's Cole Koepke, Luke Glendening, and Austin Watson. D pairings, Victor Hedman with Nicholas Herbix. I think I'm saying that right. Mikhail Sergachev with Eric Chernak. Calvin DeHaan with Darren Radish. That's a squad right there. They might not be the team that we all remember them being. I'm never going to be the one that takes the Tampa Bay Lightning lightly. Whoa, look at that. Kind of walked myself in there. But top line, Hagel, Point, Cooch. That's absolutely filthy. Kuch has 24 points in 16 games. Point has 21 and 17. Hagel 16 and 17. That's a wagon, Tyler. That's a line you better be matched up with, and we don't have last change, so I'm a little nervous with that pairing right there. What do you expect to see from them?
Yeah, I mean, they certainly have the ability to shut the Oilers down. I even think like Eric Chernak is one of the guys who doesn't get talked about enough outside of Tampa Bay. He is a darn good defenseman. That third pairing is definitely an area the Oilers can exploit, but as the road team, I don't know how many chances they're going to have to exploit it. Again, one of those games where like I would maybe even prefer to see them go 11-7 versus just playing Adam Ernie on the fourth line, but Tampa Bay has been exposed a handful of times this year. I mentioned the plus minus. I mentioned the 5v5 stats. Like these guys across the board are struggling to keep pucks out of their own net. So it'll be interesting to see if the Oilers can get the offensive attack going a little bit here tonight. Also, I want to talk to you about your Tanner Jeannot take, Aaron. I think he kind of stinks.
See, I just see the badassery of him. Like, I'm not watching every Tampa Bay Lightning game, but when you see those clips, that man kicks ass.
So they gave up Cal Foote, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a second, and a first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A pick in every round. And Cal Foote. Tanner Jeannot has scored 3 goals in 37 games. If you include the playoffs, it's 3 goals in 40 games for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, he's got some jam to him. I wouldn't be surprised if he's mixing it up after the whistle, but that's a guy you give up a third round pick for, not a first, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and a prospect for.
That's insane. That's Peter Chiarelli levels of general managing right there.
I will hit the people with maybe a hot take. Considering their cap hits are basically the same, I think I would rather have Warren Fogle.
Well, hey, if it's contract year, Warren Fogle,
Yeah.
sign me up, but it has to come with that asterisk. I keep saying, let's sign him to just 1 year deal after 1 year deal because I like this version of him. But Victor Hedman, I saw it. I was on Reddit. I'm always in the game day talk there. Some guys coming at Victor Hedman, chirping him, calling him old. He's 32. He still averages 24 minutes a game. He's got 19 points in 17 games. I tread lightly before I start coming at Victor Hedman about being slowing down or washed. I don't think it's there yet with him, but what a nice pleasure to have is Mikhail Sergachev right behind him. Sergachev only has 1 goal in the year, but we know the type of player he is. We just said I'd probably trade him straight up for Evan Bouchard if we could do that. Just closing out on the Lightning. They're 12th in the league with 3.35 goals per game. The Oilers, they're at 2.87. Lightning, 5th in power play percentage, going at 30.4%. Stay out of the box. For the love of God, stay out of the box. I don't want to see Stamkos in his spot. I know I believe, only has 5 goals on the year. We know what he can do. I'm not tempting fate with that. I don't want to see those studs out there. Lightning, they're also 11th in the penalty kill, killing it off at 83.7%. That's pretty damn good too. So special teams very much might be a factor in here. Tyler, I guess just last question for the Lightning. Who's your player to watch, I guess, for them, and what are you going to have your eyes on tonight?
I mean, to me, it's the stars. Like, I'm not sure if their depth guys really have all that much juice in them. Like, even just kind of going through those names, like over the course of their last 10 games, Mikey Esamont's chipped in a few, but other than that, no one in their bottom 6 has really pissed all that much of a drop. So it's just keeping their stars off the board, man. Like, don't let that power play get going. It's elite. It's very, very good. I think it's 3rd in the NHL. Don't let the Point Kucherov and Hagel line kill you, and you're probably going to be okay in this hockey game. On the flip side, Tampa Bay is one of the few teams in the league who's even close to the Oilers in terms of how many high danger goals they give up. Both these teams are in the bottom 5 at 5-on-5 in that stat. So if you can get to dangerous areas, if you're the Oilers, go to the net hard, create some really quality looks, you're going to get yours tonight. So to me, keep the stars off the board and then make sure your stars are getting dangerous chances.
Star-studded game, give up goals, very good power plays. Smells like the over to me, Tyler. I don't know about you. And that's a great segue because it's time for Bordzy's Bankroll. Betway, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. If you're new here, I got 3 bets for you that I like this evening. Actually, that my boy Gavin likes. He's right here next to me. And we're going to put them up in the YouTube chat. We're going to make a poll. You all vote on them, and you decide whether I become a rich man or a poor man. So first, Pat, you got some statistics for me for today's matchup. Yeah, there we do. We see it. So the Oilers enter today winners of 3 consecutive, outscoring opponents 12-5. Tampa Bay is coming into the game losers of 3 of their last 4. Gotta like that. McDavid has scored a goal in consecutive games and has registered 8 shots on goal during those 2 games. He's buzzing. That's the Connor I know and love. McDavid has 10 goals in 10 career games versus the Lightning, 6 goals over his last 4. And then it's the man on your screen. Look at that smile right there. I love that guy. Zach Hyman has hit over 2.5 shots on goal in 3 of his last 4 games. During that span, Hyman is averaging 3.5 shots on goal per 60. Tampa Bay is allowing an average of 31.9 shots per game to opposing teams. It's 22nd in the NHL. So, okay, let's bring it out here. Our choices today. Also, there's Gavin on the screen.
Hi, guys.
It'll actually be the 3 of us once again for Oilers Nation.
Yes.
After dark today, which, no, it should be dark.
Yeah, I think it'll be dark by
It
then,
should be
for
dark
sure.
by then, so that works. First choice, nice and simple. Edmonton money line, -125. Don't want to get greedy with that one. Just got to see it go through. See if we can get another dub in the pocket. Second one, McDavid, 2+ goals. Does that
Flat
say?
600.
Woo!
We're chasing today. We're chasing that juice today.
That is juicy. I kind of like that. And then another. So we got two kind of simpler ones, and then a little juicy there because the last one is Zach Hyman over 2.5 shots. What is that? -163.
Yes.
So not a ton of value, but you saw from the stats there, Zach Hyman's rolling lately, and he's getting in the dirty areas. Tyler, let me ask you first. Which one of these do you like?
I don't think the money line is priced right today. I feel like this one probably should have been a little bit closer to a pick 'em, if not the Oilers being dogs, just because Tampa Bay is on home ice. So I don't know if I really want to touch that. Hyman's not juicy enough for me either. McDavid, 2 goals. I mean, it's juicy. Do I think he can have would that be his first multi-goal performance of the year? I think it would.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, so even that one's tough. I don't know. I think I might go off the board with my pick today and do
No.
Oilers.
You have to pick one.
Then I'll go with McDavid and I'll just chase the juice.
There it is.
And that's where I'm going to. And he performs against the Lightning, as you guys see in the stats here. He has 10 career goals in 10 games against the Lightning, and then 6 of those goals over the last 4 games against Tampa Bay. So for whatever reason, he loves playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'm probably riding the one in the middle with McDavid, 2+ goals.
Pat, do you like anything that's not on this? You got to give me your pick for this. And then I know you're always chasing shot props. So
Shot prop
what do you
king.
like tonight, Pat?
Yeah, I think the shot prop for tonight, I'm going with Hyman over 2.5 goals. I love chasing it. I just love watching Hyman in front of the net, and he can sometimes, get 2 or 3 whacks at it in one shift. So I do like that, but I haven't really looked outside of these 3 picks today, to be honest with you. So I like McDavid 2+ goals as well, just for the fun of it. I was thinking it came up. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like I want to chase the juice. Oh,
That's why I threw it right in the middle. I had to chase the
It's
juice
a tight
today.
one here in the poll. McDavid 2 goals is at 39%.
Yep.
Hyman's also at 39%.
Ooh.
Edmonton money line 21%. So I got to let this one go down to like the 57-minute mark.
And so then we still have time to get our own
then I
bets
still
in
got to
too,
get
right?
it in. I'm trying to get my Face ID rocking right now. Tyler, you betting heavily tonight? You make any parlays today? It's a good sports night. Everything's
Yep.
going on. Some good basketball last night.
I already hit the Senators money line this morning, so we're already free rolling going into today. So good day already.
Extra money in the bankroll?
yes,
Let's
yes,
go.
so it's good.
Tyler, anything not involved in today's game that you like on Betway?
What do I like tonight on Betway? Canucks Kraken. The Canucks are starting to get a little bit too juiced up because of their hot streak. You know what? A team I think is probably due to turn things around at some point here and start going on a bit of a run. They're only 5-5 in their last 10. Colorado Avalanche. 5-5 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. They are road dogs against the Dallas Stars tonight. I think that might be a good spot. And I also think Blue Jackets Capitals, just hammer the over there. I know Washington's been good at keeping pucks out of their net recently, but that's been on the back of Charlie Lindgren. And I kind of question how many good games Charlie Lindgren can have in a row here because he's been nails so far this season. And Merzlikken's been having a tough run. So I'd go over in Columbus, Washington, and Colorado money line.
Is Kemper back in net for Washington, or is he still hurt?
I think he's
No,
still hurt.
Lindgren's confirmed.
Okay.
I haven't.
Yeah, I like
finished.
that then.
He's been a graveyard. That guy. He's no
Yes.
good. Rangers Devils. That's a game that I want to watch tonight. That'll
be
be
a good one.
There's some good matchups. Just Canadians, Bruins. That's a good uniform matchup.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it
good
might
in
not be
sports.
great on the ice, but I love a good jersey matchup. That's for sure. In here, I see Tyler asked, said, real question is, does Leon leave to win a cup? That is not the
Shut
real
up.
question. Nobody was
No.
talking about that. Nobody wants
It's not on
that.
our topic board. We're not bringing that
You
up.
throw him in a timeout right now. You don't ban
Can
him,
do.
but he gets a timeout. They need
2
to
minutes in
learn.
the box for that. Come
They
on,
need- They
man.
need to see and they need to learn. Okay, there's none of that. Leon's never leaving.
Especially when we won 3 in a row. Come on,
Yeah,
good vibes
like,
only.
buddy, none of that.
Right?
I hate guys named Tyler. Right? Right, Yaremchuk?
He's just nodding his head.
Except for you, Tyler Mulick. I love you, not Tyler Mulick's. And all of you, just kind of doing some housekeeping here. Look, a couple people asking, is this going to be another comeback game? Maybe you wait to bet the comeback. I know Lance Kane did last game.
Yeah, I think you
And
got
he
like plus
probably-
500.
Yeah, exactly. There's some guys in the Discord. I was in the Discord last game. That's a fun place to be.
It is. Yeah, I'm in there
during it,
sometimes during the game
but
too.
man, they just do.
Yeah.
They just keep on
It's a
commenting.
great community in there.
What
for
is
sure.
Tyler betting off the board? Genesis asked. Didn't I already ask you that?
I like if you can get the Betway one that's Oilers money line McDavid 2+ points. I think it's like plus
Okay.
175. I think that's a decent one too.
I like that.
Dukes 91 says RNH goal incoming. Putter said betting with the thumbs down. Well,
Okay.
you
Well,
clearly
you're in
you
the-
clearly don't know us very
No,
well. Then.
Very responsibly, but
responsibly.
we love our Betway.
19 plus. I love Betway. It's always a good time. Okay, a couple minutes here. Oh, I gotta get my name.
I do
out.
like
Yeah.
the Nuge anytime today too.
Yeah,
I think
carry me
I
for a minute.
hit that as well because I was checking Betway. I think Nuge is due, and his line was at plus 225 to find the back of the net today. So I love that, Dukes. I hit RNH anytime goal today as well. When I was driving over here, I hit it.
Okay, I think we're gonna end the poll here because it's definitely taken off. McDavid 2+ goals, 47, 48,
Let's go.
48%. Oh, 47%.
Yeah.
Going back and forth. But we're going with that. Hyman was second with over 2.5 shots, 35%. Hey, you don't have to just bet one. You can spray the board. You can do it all. I'm going to get in my 2+ goals right now. Let me ask you as we wind down. Tyler, I'll start with you. Score prediction this evening and an anytime goal score.
I'm going to say the Oilers win a bit of a high scoring one. I'll say they win 5-3, and I'm just going to stick Connor McDavid as my goal scorer. I think he gets another one tonight.
Gavin?
Yeah, so when we did our predictions in the office yesterday, I think the floodgates are open on offense. So I'm going to go 5-2 Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, so Tyler picked McDavid, but I'm going to go Nuge here. I'm just going to base on my last plus 225 bet, so Nuge anytime.
There's more money in my account than I remember.
Isn't that
again.
the best?
This
That's the
happened
best
the two
feeling.
Last show.
That's the absolute best
This happened
feeling.
the two last. I said in our TikTok prediction, I said 4-0.
Yeah.
So screw it. I'm going to stick with that. Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's
as
line
you
them up.
should. As you should. We're not going to say the word this time, though.
Exactly. I did.
But 4-0.
I did say it last
Yeah,
time.
you did. And then it was like 40s. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to bring that
My
up.
brother came in the chat and really ripped me apart. Pat, score prediction, anytime goal scorer. My anytime goal scorer is Nuge.
I think my score prediction for today, I'm going to stick with 5 goals for Edmonton, but a little closer. Might hit the it might go into overtime today. 5-4 Edmonton. McDavid anytime goal scorer.
Who doesn't like free hockey and extra hockey? Okay, everybody. That'll do it for us here. We're going to be live once again on the Oilersnation YouTube right after the game. Me and Gavin and the guy on your screen. All three of us on the screen. We're
Boys
going to
are
hang
back.
out. Tyler's got to head out to go to the Claire Drake, though, so we'll see. If we do get free hockey, it might just be me and you for a little bit, but Tyler can fire off some takes. Want to give some final thank yous to our sponsors, Sherwood Ford, Greta, Betway, and Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. They all do great business. There's one thing in common. We work hard, so do they. They're the best. Everybody, good luck with your bets. Good luck to the Edmonton Oilers, and I'll see you on this YouTube channel right after the game. Good luck, everybody. Over and out.